We are told that life is cyclical. Everything comes in cycles. Days turn to night, night turns to day. Summer turns to autumn, to winter, to spring. But we also have our own cycle of life. Now, if you look at a cycle, you could say it's a sine wave. It has a wavelength. And it's the same with us. The wavelength between each individual might be quite different. Some have a longer one than others. And of course the amplitude, that's the height or crest of the wave, might be quite different between us all. For example, a person who lives a long life might have a long wave, and the crest might be very high because they've accumulated a lot of, say, material things. But there comes a decline, the other side of the cycle. Now, if you look at a typical Western family, and I think my wife and I and kids when they were young were a typical Western family. You buy a home, and then, of course, the children are born. And generally speaking, quite often, the home was inadequate. So you might add a room. You might build on a veranda. You make it bigger, more comfortable. And just when you think everything's right, that's when the kids leave home. And suddenly you're an empty nester. Now, the empty nester stage can be a very happy one, especially if you're still working and you're still vigorous, energetic, and can do all the maintenance, mow the lawns, paint the house, do all those sort of things. But eventually, you're on the downward curve now. The energies are not what they used to be. So you think, what will we do now? Now, if you've been lucky and perhaps used your life intelligently, you'll own that home. And it's now probably, well, you've enjoyed the space, but it really is bigger than what you really need. So you think about downsizing. This is where you can get into trouble, because as retirement looms, you're thinking about, wow, the sea change, or moving to the mountains, getting that nice little place where we can stroll on the beach. And quite often, the decision is made to do that. And then within a very short time, we don't know anyone here. Our relatives live a long way away. We're miles away from the doctors and hospitals. You see what I'm getting at? My advice on downsizing would be this. If you've lived in an area for a long time, say 20, 30 years, and you're now thinking about downsizing, think about downsizing and living somewhere within a reasonable distance of where you lived before. That way you will know where everything is. And not only that, you will have found that over time, your face has become familiar to hundreds of people. You go into a shop, they recognise you. You get on the bus driver might recognise you. This is the sort of place that you've been for years, and there are people who are around you. They mightn't be your close friends, but they don't reject you. You're not a stranger. Go to another place, perhaps to another state, where the lingo's a bit different, the interests are different. and you find it hard to make friends, if you're not a very gregarious person, you could be a very lonely man or woman there, especially if the beloved dies unexpectedly and you're suddenly all alone. You're all alone and you wish that you were back where you were before, where you knew the boys down the pub, and you knew where the good coffee shop was because they were always talking to you in the morning and saying good morning and asking you questions. Having an interest, maybe not a deep interest, but an interest in your welfare and your life. Does this ring true? Are you thinking maybe I won't downsize a long distance from home? My wife and I didn't. We probably moved about 5 or 6 kilometres, or say up 2.5, 3 miles in a straight line from where we lived. We knew all the roads around the place, the highways. We knew the shopping centres. We knew the bus routes. These things are important. Trying to start a new life in a new location late in life is a challenge in itself. It's particularly so if you find yourself isolated, away from everything, away from all the services. And remember, no matter how healthy you are now, your health will gradually deteriorate. You'll become more fragile, more frail. You'll have more doctor's visits. You might even have to see a specialist. Do you want to have to go on a weekend and stay away for a weekend in a motel to see a specialist because it's too far to travel? Think about it. Downsizing. Very important decision. Make one which is right for you.